As he tours to promote his new movie Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson has been exposing DC for not wanting Henry Cavill to return as Superman. That's not all though, he has also spoke about some things from his childhood, and that he's entirely paid back a shop he used to steal from. But what specifically did he say? Let's dive in. So why is Dwayne currently talking about DC? As many know, Dwayne Johnson is currently basking in the success of his DC debut with his latest movie Black Adam. As the movie also saw a much-awaited cameo of Superman played by Henry Cavill, Johnson revealed he had to convince Warner Bros. As the studio did not want the British actor to return to the role. For this reason and many others, Dwayne Johnson is speaking about the studio and his experience with them. This includes talking about how he had to make a convincing argument for Cavill's return as Superman in Black Adam. During a video that he shared on Twitter, Johnson introduced his supervillain role as, quote, the most powerful unstoppable force in the DC universe. He then went on to explain that he needed someone who was even more powerful than his villain to manage it, and that is why they brought back Superman. That's not the drama that's been behind the scenes though, as apparently there's been some things going on. Did Johnson actually say that Warner Bros. Didn't want Cavill to return? Yes, he did. During the video, Johnson stated that Warner Bros. Didn't initially want Cavill to come back as Superman.
We on our end of Black Adam, we will do everything we can to pay homage and respect to the mythology of Black Adam and build him as being the most powerful and unstoppable force on this planet.
This was something that Dwayne had to fight for in order for this cameo scene to take place. Quote, we have to bring back the most powerful, unstoppable force of all time in any universe, and you guys know who I'm talking about. Of course, that is Superman, and that's Henry Cavill, Johnson said in the video. In addition to this news on Warner Bros., Johnson has also shared a story from his childhood. During one of his tours while promoting Black Adam, apparently The Rock used to shoplift from a local store when he was younger, and in order to make it up to the owners, he did something pretty cool. Speaking of that, let's talk about his candy heist. What did Dwayne Johnson do to pay back the store? During one of his recent tours for Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson revealed that he used to steal from a 7-Eleven when he was 14 years old, so he eventually returned and bought every Snickers bar on the shelves, as well as paying for other customers' purchases and tipping the sales assistant. According to his Instagram post, he paid $298 in total for all of this. This act of kindness was done with the intention of exercising his own demons. According to The Rock himself, quote, when I was 14 years old, every day I used to stop here at the 7-Eleven and steal a king-size Snickers bar because I couldn't afford to buy one. That was my pre-workout food, and I did that for almost a year every day. I had to come back and buy every Snickers bar on those shelves. The Rock added, quote, finally exorcised this damn chocolate demon that's been gnawing at me for decades. This is of course a pretty big act of kindness, especially when you consider the fact that Johnson then proceeded to leave all the bars there, a sort of endowment so that kids who steal them can actually get one. That's a way of paying it forward to his younger self. Beyond that, he spoke about his family's eviction at the time and their move to Hawaii. When I was 14, we were evicted and forced to leave the state of Hawaii, and it wound up being the greatest blessing in disguise because at that time, I was getting in a lot of trouble. At that time, I already had multiple arrests under my belt from doing a lot of things that I shouldn't have been doing, and I'm lucky. I'm really lucky that I didn't wind up in prison, and certainly I was on that track if I had stayed there in Hawaii. That's not all Johnson has spoken about during his tour though. Let's talk about Johnson's response to the fact that many believe Black Adam won't make money. In October, Dwayne Johnson's long-awaited arrival as Black Adam hit theaters, with the DC Comics anti-hero facing off against the Justice Society after being awoken from a 5,000-year slumber. Black Adam was met with mixed reviews by many fans, and so far it's only made over $384 million worldwide. Earlier this week, it was reported that Black Adam will end up being a big money loser for Warner Bros. Pictures, but now Johnson has responded back to these claims, alleging his DC movie will actually make a profit. The earlier number crunching claimed that Black Adam will need to make at least $600 million to simply break even, but with the movie not even hitting $400 million, it was reported to allegedly lose between $50 to $100 million during its theatrical run. However, on his Twitter page, Dwayne Johnson said that after waiting to confirm with financiers, he's told that Black Adam will profit between $52 to $72 million. He also compared Black Adam's world box office haul to Captain America: The First Avenger, with that 2011 MCU movie pulling upwards of $370 million across the globe. This is actually a valid point, as if both of these movies have similar amounts of income, then Johnson's movie might not actually be a failure as many news sources are trying to say. say. This is especially true considering that Captain America: The First Avenger is a great classic superhero movie and could easily be said to have been successful. All of this seems to indicate that Johnson and his team believe that Black Adam will actually turn a profit and not be a money loser. In any case, it's nice to see Johnson speaking out on this issue, which has been speculated about for days now. It will be interesting to see if the movie really does make a profit or not. According to some sources, DC may not go ahead with a sequel to Black Adam. While the movie was surrounded by plenty of hype and clever marketing by Dwayne Johnson, the money may not make sense for DC to make a second movie. There's one last thing we have to talk about. This is the fact that Dwayne Johnson might just have spoken a bit prematurely about Cavill returning as Superman. Although Dwayne did manage to get a piece of DC, his announcement to the world that Cavill was returning as Superman might have been a bit premature. After all, with the new heads of Warner Bros. And DC, James Gunn and Peter Safran, at the helm, it could mean that Henry Cavill's return to the role of Superman is a bit uncertain. This may have been a misstep on Johnson's part, as it could further antagonize the new DC heads, who might now be even less likely to let Cavill come back as the Man of Steel. In any case, it will be interesting to see how this all plays out, and if Dwayne Johnson ends up getting his way or not. Will it really happen? Although ultimately it's important to realize that time will tell, we have to stay tuned and wait to see. In the meantime, it's nice to see Dwayne Johnson trying to bring Henry Cavill back as Superman, even if it looks like it may not end up happening at this point in time. With that speculation out of the way, Dwayne Johnson does seem overall to be a positive force in the entertainment industry. From his efforts to bring Henry Cavill back to his kind acts of paying back a shop he used to steal from, it's clear that this actor is all about good deeds. We can only hope that these good vibes reach out to DC and the studio makes the right decision at the end of the day. Okay, let's sum it all up. To sum up, Dwayne Johnson has been talking about DC and his experience with the studio while promoting Black Adam. He said that Warner Bros. Did not initially want Henry Cavill to return as Superman, and he had to fight for it. He also revealed a story from his childhood where he used to steal from a 7-Eleven and recently paid back the shop by buying all the Snickers bars there, leaving them for kids who can't afford them. Lastly, Johnson responded to the speculation that Black Adam might be a big money loser for Warner Bros., alleging instead that it will actually make a profit between $52 to $72 million. However, Johnson might have spoken too soon about Cavill coming back as Superman, as things are still uncertain with James Gunn and Peter Safran taking charge of DC now. If Henry Cavill does end up coming back, what are your thoughts about it? Do you think Johnson is right about what he's been saying? Let us know in the comments below, and we would love to see what you have to say. While you're down there, please don't forget to like and subscribe, turning that notification bell on so you don't miss any more great videos like this. And with that out of the way, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.